we're going to do a CLAM exercise now for the muscle at the top of the buttock, and you're going to be exercising one side at a time. Sometimes if you're very weak on one side, you might only need to exercise that one side for a short period of time until it catches up with the other leg. But we're going to show you for the right leg, and it would be the same obviously lying on the other side to exercise the left leg. So we're going to be exercising the right leg today using the CLAM exercise. So you're going to be lying on your side. You can use a yoga block or a rolled up towel for a bit of head support, and you just want your hands in a nice comfy position. First of all, we're going to straighten up the spine because with the effects of gravity, pushing your waist down into the floor, that's going to cause a curve in your spine, which will affect how your hips are going to be working. So we're just going to stabilise the spine and straighten it out. So what I'd like you to do is imagine there's a raspberry underneath your rib cage, and you're going to lift away from that raspberry so that your spine straightens. Okay, so you should have a nice straight line, nose, breastbone, belly button, pubic bone. Nice straight line through there. And you should feel that your hips are stacked one on top of the other. Now for the starting position, you're also going to bend your knees forwards. That's great. And you're going to keep your feet together. So the soles of the feet are just in line with the back of you. And in that position there, you're going to focus on keeping the hips stacked one on top of the other, keeping the feet together, and then slowly lifting that top knee just as far as it'll go, and then lowering it back down. As you lift the knee, make sure those hips don't roll backwards. You want to keep the hips stacked one on top of the other. And if that means that it limits the amount you lift your knee, that's absolutely fine. As soon as this hip gets a bit stronger and a little bit more flexible, you'll be able to go a little bit further. You might initially want to have the back of the sofa just in line with your back. So as you lift up, the back of the sofa is going to press into the back of your buttocks and your spine just to give you that little bit of support. You can also bring in some breathing. So if we stay rested there now, you're going to take a breath in to prepare. And as you breathe out, you're going to lift that knee. And as you breathe in, you're going to come back down. Breathing out to lift. Breathing in to come back down. Excellent. Now that's position one. Position one involves a little bit of hip flexion. So your hips are bent at almost 90 degrees. So what we're going to do is, for those of you who may have tight hip flexors, you're going to straighten the legs out so that the hip and the knee is in line. And then you're going to keep the knees where they are, but just bend the knees so that the heels come back behind you. That's great. So just sliding them back there. And you're going to do the same exercise, but you're going to keep the feet together and the knee is going to lift now from this much straighter hip position. So keep the hips stacked, keep that raspberry clear, that's great. And then lift and lower. Excellent. So you're exhaling to lift, it's exhale with effort, and inhale to drop down. And if you struggle with the breathing, don't worry too much. As long as you're breathing and you're not holding your breath or clenching your jaw, that should be absolutely fine. There we go. And you want to repeat that to the point of fatigue. So I'm guessing you might be close to fatigue. So if you are at close to fatigue, then you can rest on this side and move over to the other side. With the other side, it's exactly the same, but obviously you're lying on the other hip. So you want to be trying to repeat that to the point of fatigue, ideally a minimum of 3 times a week, if not once a day.